Good morning, sports fans. Today is Sunday, May 10th, 2026. It is Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to you for all the mothers out there. My producer is not a mother, but I'm just looking at her because she's checking for the sound. Oh, got the thumbs up. All right, nice. But yeah, I mean, without mothers, there wouldn't be sports. So shout out to all the moms. Appreciate you. Wouldn't be able to talk about sports without you, which is what we do here on RateGame Live. It is a show that is by the fans, for the fans, from a fan to the fans, made by a fan. All the things for sports and fans and all the stories and stuff in between. Stuff that doesn't necessarily show up on the box score. That's what we're all about. That is the DNA of RateGame, which is the premise of this show here, RateGame Live, hosted by me. My name is Nick Mark George. Every single morning, come here and we talk about sports, and we do so from the lens of the fan, the person who takes the time to watch these games, scores them for us. We have this nice little community where with the scores, with the ratings, we can parse through the noise. We can pick out the things that are interesting, that are worthy of our time, and we can talk about them. We can kind of go a little bit deeper. So that is my role. My job is to kind of guide you, shepherd you to these stories and have fun along the way, learn some stuff, and certainly not involve or talk about or mention anything to do with sports gambling. This is a no tolerance sports gambling zone. We'll say zone is a good way to put it. So if you're with me, thank you. Appreciate you. The way that we begin each show, each day, is a segment called Were the Sports Good? Hashtag WTSG. It's a snapshot of the last 24 days in the world of sports. 24 days, 24 hours. We could do 24 days if we wanted to. I guess that wouldn't really be telling, but 24 hours in the world of sports. Take a little snapshot, and then we see where we landed. Super healthy day yesterday. Then from there, we will talk about the WNBA opening weekend, opening day, really. We had 2 games on Friday, and then there was a healthy slate yesterday. I think there was like 5 or 6 games. There's another 5, I believe, today. So every single team will have played by the end of today. The poor city of Philly is down bad right now. Talk about that on the hockey side. The basketball side could be their final basketball game today. We have Messi doing messy things in the MLS. We have La La Land in shambles with Leo DiCaprio courtside to see it all. We have a fun today in sports history. And we, of course, have the final 48. We also have, I create these little segments for myself, these little rundown topics. And I totally forgot that the UFC is on RateGame. So last night I added a card for UFC 328, which is at the Prudential Center at the behest, at the request of several users on RateGame. This is something that I've long had I would say, issue with, not issue, but just like it's hard to design for things where individuals are competing, like golf, like tennis, like UFC. So that's why we kind of been putting it off, independent from the fact that you also have to have a third-party data provider that will give you live. It's bad. Why is it choppy? Oh, wow, really? How bad is it? My lips are not moving. Interesting. Is it like bad? Is it like unintelligible? It's just annoying. Annoying, like you wouldn't even be able to, you wouldn't want to watch it. It's getting better. We're getting stronger as we go. Keep going. Just keep going, just power through. I don't know what you do. I mean, that's by the way, folks, StreamYard is the service that we use. StreamYard, not the best. Kind of amateur. They have some bare bones stuff that you can like use to put on a halfway decent production for a live stream, but very unreliable, as you can see. Are you checking out multiple sources? Oh, but yeah, but I'm on the landline. I'm like plugged in the Ethernet. Let's see if this works. I'm gonna take us off Wi-Fi. Just go straight network, brother. The Ethernet. Did that work? Also, it says that there's 7 people watching, but I don't know. Maybe that's just fake people. Can't be. All right. So anyway, the UFC. Yeah, right. So hard to design for. It's bad.
No, it's back. It's good.
Oh, we're back. We're back. WNBA is back. We're back. All right, nice. So yeah, it's designing for nice. Thank you, producer. I appreciate it. Holding it down here. The UFC was added as an experience, card 328. Take a look at that. And then we will spin the old globe for country number 17 as we march toward the World Cup, Final 48. Each day is a new country that we learn about together. All right, so were the sports good? They certainly were aplenty, but were they good? Not so great. Mixed night, mixed bag, which is understandable because whenever you get this many games, 38 games is very healthy. We're usually bouncing around in like the 20s. So we're almost in, almost 40 games were played yesterday on Saturday across 6 different leagues. NBA, Major League Baseball, NHL, English Premier League, Major League Soccer, WNBA. So it's going to be hard to have universal good quality there, especially when you just have that much variety across that many different leagues and sports. 5.95 out of 10, 339 ratings on these bad boys and girls. 466 overall canonical. So the 339 is what makes up this 5.59, or sorry, 5.95. We're almost at 6. And here you see mellow yellow all across the board. Little spikes of green, no reds today, which is normal. Can't believe we saw a red yesterday. It was crazy. NHL is leading the way with a 7.65. English Premier League 6.65. 4 games a pop for the WNBA English Premier League. NBA was pretty, NBA was really bad because the Lakers, I think, are just disappointing everybody. We were hoping for at least a more competitive game out of them, but we definitely got one with the Cavs and the Pistons. So shout out to the Beard. After I eviscerated him on previous segment, he has bounced back. Major League Baseball with a whopping 14 games and 111 ratings and a 5.62. And then Major League Soccer, also with a massive slate yesterday, 12 games and 34 ratings there. Talk about Mr. Messi on the program. All right, so yeah, 5.95 mixed night. That is your hashtag WTSG. Oh, we have some comments. What are the comments saying? Flame. Thank you, Flame. Always count on you. Hi, Kuzi. What's up? How you been, man? How you doing? Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to you both. All right, so here we are in our little rundown. WNBA is back. This is the 30th season. So congratulations to the W. 30 years strong. Mentioned that they were able to avoid any stoppage of play, any stoppage of work. So we are now just on track, on schedule. All these games are being played. The season has kicked off. And yesterday we had some marquee matchups. We had the Dallas Wings versus probably the most popular team in the league. Let's be real, because of a certain someone named Caitlin Clark. So Paige Bueckers and Caitlin Clark had a little showdown yesterday, a showcase showdown, and it did not disappoint. So this game was record breaking. It was the most points that were ever scored in a opening game for the WNBA. So, and it was also the first time that both teams scored in triple digits. 107, 104. It actually should have been higher because the Fever had two opportunities to tie this with 90 seconds, and both three-pointers missed. Caitlin Clark had as good a look as Caitlin Clark could ever ask for. And I forget who actually then had the other three, the true three at the buzzer. I think it was, let me see. No, it wasn't Aaliyah Boston. It wasn't CC. Maybe Kelsey Mitchell? I want to say, yeah, it's probably Kelsey Mitchell. It's definitely a shooting guard. So the game was kind of crazy, like super neck and neck down to the wire. And then as soon as we got into crunch time with 90 seconds left, nobody could hit a shot. Like Caitlin missed that three. Then Paige Bueckers gets to the line. She misses both her foul shots. Fever get the rebound with like 1 second left. They design a play, which was actually a brilliant out of bounds play because whoever got it had the wide open look and just missed it. So it was 4 consecutive misses to end the game. And the crowd was like begging for overtime. But either way, it was a really, really fun game. 9.0. You have nice. You got representation here from all sides. You got 3 Fever fans with a 9-2, neutrals with a 9, and then 2 Dallas fans with a 8-8. What a game, says that Mojo. Crazy amount of scoring from 2 of the top scoring teams of WNBA. 52% from 3 is a good start to see. Fudd could have for sure played a little better in the first game, but to be honest, a great game. Can't ask for much more. I actually missed Miss Fudd. I was hoping to see more of the Bueckers and Fudd on-court chemistry because we all know about the off-court chemistry. So I was missing that little plot line. But Dallas was the worst team in the WNBA last year. Only 10 wins for the entire season. Good to see them get a win out of the gate. So that's your number 1 rated game. And I was looking across the WNBA database here. That is also like the 6th most rated game in the WNBA. So this is there's like different ways to track growth on RateGame. This is one of them. You go to the volume here and you see, so 29 fans. So the most rated game, go figure, on RateGame for the WNBA is the All-Star game, when you have everybody, the who's who of the WNBA playing. And you had last season, we had Caitlin Clark as a captain, and then I think it was Collier from the Minnesota Lynx as the other captain. So hopefully we'll smash all those records this season. Shout out to the WNBA. They are off and running. All right, back to the board. Okay, so yeah, Philly is in a bit of a down spell right now as a sports city. They just cannot catch a break. And the hockey team, the Flyers, I think nobody expected them to get this far, certainly to win their first series. I think it was the first time they've been in the playoffs in quite some time. And then I believe it was an upset against the Pittsburgh Penguins, but don't quote me on that. They handled them, though. They took care of business. And then they ran into a hurricane. A Category 5 Carolina hurricane came into town last night and absolutely took care of business in overtime. This is a crazy way for your season to end, folks. If I'm a Philly fan, if I'm a forget the Sixers for a moment. If I'm just a Flyers fan and we're in overtime, and this is how the season ends. It's just absolutely devastating. You got to take a look at this goal.
Taylor Hall, the intercept. He's right back in. Centering pass. Save Ladar. It's off his glove and in. The series is over.
Could you imagine?
Carolina is on to the Eastern Conference Final.
Look at this.
The intercept. He's right back in. Centering pass.
Oh,
Save Ladar.
oh, season over.
The series is over. Carolina is on to the Eastern Conference.
Goalie's like,
right back in. Centering pass. Save Ladar. It's off his
no,
glove and in.
just wrecks it with the stick. That is very unfortunate. So Carolina is seems to be a team of destiny here. They have now swept back-to-back series, and so how Carolina plays. You just can't breathe and get goals like that. Yeah, so they are like a bit of a wagon, huh, Kuzi and Flame? I'm sure you guys have been paying close attention. They haven't lost yet in the playoffs. So they're now 8-0, but I realized, and I think the internet also is saying that the NHL kind of botched the scheduling here, because there's now going to be something like, yeah, here it is. What a horrific scheduling by the NHL. The Hurricanes get over a week more of time off to play in the Eastern Conference Finals. The Buffalo MON? Oh, Buffalo Montreal. Buffalo Montreal series hasn't even played their third game yet. I imagine that's today. So the hottest team in the NHL now has to not play hockey for a week. I don't care what sport you play. If you're taking a week off of live game competition, there's nothing you can do in practice to simulate live play that counts. You can pipe in all the crowd noise you want. You can kind of run like any sort of scenario that you're just never going to be able to match the actual game. And so for a team like this that has like such a groove and momentum, this kind of hurts them. I think that they're going to have a tough time starting back up a week from now. Let's say that series goes 7 between Buffalo and Montreal, which it definitely could. I think that is going to be tough sledding for the Hurricanes, who are, I think, 1 game away from setting an NHL or tying an NHL record for the most wins to start a playoffs. I think it's 9-0. Quote me on that, though. But yeah, now they just basically have to bide their time for a week. The Hurricane Machine. What a post. I love this graphic. This graphic is classic. Anytime a team is on a mission, and it's actually also been used so many different ways for like even like a player who just like ruins team. I think there's one with like KD and every team that he's gone to. He's basically just like ruined. Same with Harden. You could make one for pretty much anyone on OKC of the big 3. Carolina Hurricanes have become the first team ever since the NHL moved to a 7-game series format for every round to start a playoff run 8-0 and sweep their first 2 rounds. They're just the 5th team ever to start a playoff run 8-0. The last to do it was the 1985 Oilers, who hold the modern record. There it is, for the best playoff start, 9-0, and a single season playoff record, 16-2. It's very Warrior-esque. A year that they were just on a warpath. I think it was the 2016 team. So yeah, I think we'll see. We'll see what happens. This totally could have backfired. Sweeping, who would have thought sweeping 2 rounds of the playoffs would now mean that you are kind of lose your momentum and your mojo. So that is what's up with Philly. And obviously it goes without saying, but the New York Knicks could sweep the 76. So it would be back-to-back sweeps at home for Philly. That's what's on the line today. That's what the Knicks have the funniest, they say the Knicks have the chance to do the funniest thing ever. That would be pretty funny if the Sixers got swept the day after the Flyers got swept. And I think more likely than not, I will be here tomorrow talking to you about the Knicks sweeping the 76ers. So stay tuned for that. All right, back to the board. All right, so Messi. So Messi continues to just dominate Major League Soccer, which I think is as much of a endorsement for how incredible he is, considering his age, as it is an indictment on Major League Soccer. Like, how is it that this guy, after winning a World Cup at the age of, he's like 38, comes to our like best soccer league with like the best players that we have, and he's been here for, I think this is his third year. He's basically like set or broken every record that like all players in MLS history have spent an entire, league, like however long the MLS has been around. I imagine it's more than 20 years, 30 years. This guy who is at the tail end of his career has just come in and like destroy, and not just like set the records, he's like destroying the records. It's like the records that have been set by these guys are just kind of like play, like it's like fodder for him. Like he's not really even trying. So this latest and greatest one, which I made a graphic for, very proud of this one. I tried my hand at the old graphic making here, is for the fastest to 100 goals and assists. So it's kind of a little hockey stat here. It's goals plus assists. So he's got 59 goals, 41 assists in 64 matches. The previous record holder, whose record he broke, it took him 95 games. Messi did it in 64. So he needed 31 fewer games to do this, which is just insane to me. He better play in the World Cup, man. Honestly, we will be so robbed if this guy does not do it. MLS has never been, yeah, exactly. It's like you come here to end your career to just have, MLS has been around for 30, wow, so exact length of the WNBA. Crazy. So look, let me be clear. I love where the MLS is. I think it has just grown tremendously in such a short amount of time. I think David Beckham specifically is doing incredible things with Inter Miami. I know that he has like huge designs on getting Messi and Ronaldo to play together on this team. I know that he's actively like working the phones, and I think that there's like rumors that when Ronaldo's contract is up at that, I think it's like Al Nassr, wherever he's playing in the UAE, that Beckham is going to try and get him on Inter for one season so that Ronaldo and Messi can play on the same team, which would be, so I think we're going to see that. And then I guess I'm thinking as soon as the Lakers get swept, which is happening, that LeBron and Curry are going to team up in Golden State. You heard it here first. LeBron and Steph Curry will play together next season in Golden State. I think LeBron is done with the Lakers. His body language was terrible yesterday. Terrible. But that's not what this segment is about. Don't let me get carried away here. Don't let me get started. So Messi had 2 assists and a goal yesterday. I have some footage teed up for us because it was an incredible call. Oh, I think I just Googled it. Sorry, not Googled. Yes, here it is. Okay. Whoever did this call absolutely aced it.
Lionel Messi over to the far side. It goes. Messi for 4. Another day, another blockbuster crowd, another major Messi moment. North America's fantasy footballer delivers again.
North America's fantasy footballer delivers yet again. Crazy. Another magical Messi moment. I just love it. I'm a sucker for alliteration. So shout out to Messi. Shout out to Inter Miami. They had a bounce back win there. That was a 8-0. And yes, Messi can chew gum and blow bubbles. We love to see that. So, just neutrals across the board. Messi is eternal. He is now the record holder. Much more records to come, I'm sure, for him. All right, back to the big board. Okay, so Yeah, it seems like I was starting to get fired up here for a good reason. I must have seen this and got a little triggered. So yesterday we had the Los Angeles Lakers trying to keep their season alive against the Oklahoma City Thunder. And of course they didn't. And of course it was in spectacular fashion for all to see because the lights are bright in La La Land. So game was terrible, folks. And I normally don't talk about, terrible games unless there's a bigger theme, bigger storyline here, which is absolutely the case for these Los Angeles Lakers. And before I just, go nuts and say my piece, I think we should probably watch some stuff together so you kind of understand just like how bad it is and what's actually happening here. So I think first and foremost, right, like in the first half, the Lakers had the lead. They went into halftime. It's the second game in a row that when the halftime came, Lakers were leading. Game 2, it was by 1 point. I think they were, again, up by 1 or 2 points in this one. And I was, watching the game and I was feeling encouraged because LeBron was bringing it. And you had, all the stars coming out. But the energy and kind of like the crowd was super weird. They were not as loud as I thought they'd be, considering that like LeBron needs all the help he can get, whether that's like on the court or in the, feel like the energy and the crowd noise. He's 41 years old. And who showed up to see him? But Leo DiCaprio was here courtside.
James launches and connects on a 3 to tie it up.
Wow.
Look at Leo.
They are 10
Yes.
for 18.
James
Leo's like,
launches and connects on a 3 to tie it up.
I love the subtle head nod.
Wow. They are 10 for 18.
James.
So I thought we were in for something special. I thought like, okay, Leo's here, LeBron's hitting the 3, got the lead at halftime. Like maybe they could pull it off. Like maybe somebody will step up. And then I see what appears to be like, I guess you could just say the guy just like gave up, but DeAndre Ayton, man, I've never seen somebody just like so like not understanding the assignment or not understanding like what's at stake. Cause like surely he does, and just not caring. So here is a sequence in the fourth quarter. This is like season on the line. Nobody's come back from a 3-0 deficit. If ever there was a time that you need to give your all and put forth some effort and energy into doing your job, which is to grab the basketball with 2 hands and then give it to LeBron. That's it. You just grab the basketball, give it to LeBron. Find LeBron after you have secured the basketball. Emphasis on the latter, securing the basketball. There he is, right here.
Lakers look like they're in.
Number 5, right? Got massive space all by himself. Ball goes off the rim. He should be the guy. He's in perfect position to get that ball with 2 hands.
A zone here.
Mitchell with a floater. No good over Ayton.
Nope.
Boy, Ayton
One.
cannot get a defensive rebound. He's around the ball so much, but just doesn't come down with it. 3-pointer, no good.
2.
Again, kept alive by Hartenstein, and a foul.
And this is
JJ.
casually when Isaiah Hartenstein is trying to go get a rebound. That will
Same
not
possession.
get it done.
Same possession.
1 defensive rebound for Ayton in 23 minutes played. The foul was on James. The turnaround jumper, no good. And again, Ayton just standing
He's
around.
standing there.
Right
Mitchell
here.
gets the offensive rebound. And Redick looks down to the bench to get somebody else's. Ayton pushes Mitchell, count the basket, and 1.
And this is absolutely frustrating. Your playoff life is on the floor.
Doris knows your playoff life is on the floor. There was a clip. Yeah, here it is right here. JJ Redick eventually got so bad. JJ Redick obviously had to pull him. 1 defensive rebound from your center. A single. That's like hard to do. Think about all the times that a ball was probably like right in front of his face and he either fumbled it or it just like went to the other team or maybe his teammate got it instead of him. Just like no desire whatsoever.
Mitchell with a floater. No good over Ayton. Boy, Ayton cannot get a defensive rebound. He's around the ball so much, but
Watch
just doesn't come down
JJ.
with it. 3-pointer, no good. Again, kept alive by Hartenstein, and a foul.
And this is what drive you mad if you're JJ Redick.
He sits down. What does he say?
Have thought, he has
I can't play him.
all the numbers of different. And this is
Watch this. You can read the lips so clearly here.
And it's why we have thought.
That's your coach.
He has.
He's just giving up. He's like, I can't play this guy. I cannot play this guy. And he's like looking to the sky like he's going to get some help. Like, who's up there, DeAndre? There's nobody up there, bro. Are you looking at the box score? Are you looking at like your one rebound? So that was like, so I totally saw this coming. I guess I didn't expect it in this kind of fashion where he just like gives up Flame, because in that Houston series, he was huge. He was hitting his shots. He was rebounding the ball. He looked like a guy inspired. It looked like he understood the gravitas of the situation with LeBron being 41 years old, the chance to do something special, down men, people stepping up, rising to the occasion. Oftentimes when LeBron is in or on the court, and the same thing, I've said this my entire sports life, watching the best, there is just an air of expectation that they bring with them. It doesn't need to be said. It's just their presence alone. Tom Brady had this. He just made other people around him better just by being Tom Brady. He didn't have to do anything, because as the person playing with Tom Brady, you didn't want to screw up. You didn't want to be the guy that was the Deandre Ayton here. You didn't want to be this guy. The thought of being this guy was enough fear to motivate you to want to play harder and better for the person, because you don't want to be known as a Deandre Ayton. So I thought that, LeBron would warrant that kind of admiration, that kind of respect as a teammate. Clearly not. It's just like super disappointing to see this. Just like, it's not just Ayton, man. Like, okay, so he's one guy. Austin Reeves was also terrible. Austin Reeves was, after that little powwow at center court that the entire referee crew chief got summoned to hear Austin complain. I think he thought that he was going to then come back, and because he complained the last game, it's like, okay, guys, I complained, now I should be getting these calls. Every time Austin Reeves had the ball, he's like flailing, he's complaining, he's like going across court with his hands raised, and he didn't get any calls, and like it totally affected his game. So here was the little powwow. And then yesterday, I think he had maybe 10 or 12 points. So LeBron had no help. The only guy that was playing hard was Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart totally understood the assignment. I think from his Celtics days on those championship run, Marcus Smart was familiar with this environment, but that's just two guys. LeBron can't do it. LeBron, he's 41 years old, I'll say it till the cows come home. He had probably the worst body language I've seen at his locker after they asked him about, what do we do? Like, where do you go from here, LeBron?
I mean, I almost say I'm not angry or disappointed.
He's not angry or disappointed. That is a sign of defeat.
I mean, I almost say I'm not angry or disappointed. I mean, obviously you're disappointed, and it's a fact like you being down 3-0, obviously. But I mean, we still got life, and that's all you can ask for. And we got to be much better on Monday. See what happens.
He's just so withdrawn. He's thinking about his tea time. He's got some golf in the near future, and I imagine he'll probably be playing golf, playing a couple rounds with Steph. Steph also loves golf. Steve Kerr just got the extension. You heard it here first, folks. I think it's happening. All right, so here we go. That is all I'll have to say about that terrible game. I thought the series would be closer. Yeah, me too. Very disappointing. I think it's just like, as an NBA fan, you're disappointed. You never want to see this. All right, I will go back to the big board now, and we'll flip something a little bit more positive. So today in sports history, on Mother's Day, had this very cool photo that I'd never actually seen before. I think the person who wrote it was saying that's like the most famous photograph in hockey. It's a crazy photo. Such a funny photo. So today in sports history, I'll read the post. Okay, so on Mother's Day in the year 1970, this picture was taken at the Boston Garden. Bruins were up 3-0 in the Stanley Cup final, tied 3-3 in overtime against the St. Louis Blues, and the game could have gone either way. But 40 seconds into overtime, Derek Sanderson finds Bobby Orr, that's who this is, cutting toward the net. Orr buries it past Glenn Hall. Right after the puck goes in, a Blues defenseman named Noel Picard trips Orr's skates, and Orr goes flying like a cartoon with his arms straight out, stick still in his hand, mouth open, and mid-scream. Some photographer named Ray Lucier had moved seats right before overtime started. He's the only guy with the clean angle, which makes it so rare. He clicks the shutter in that moment, and he gets the photo, the most famous picture in hockey history. You've seen it a million times. Hand up, I have not. Even if you don't watch hockey, hand up, I do not watch hockey. Bruins win their first cup in 29 years, and Orr is just 22 years old. Wow. He wins the Norris, of course, trophy named after someone. Best demon in the league, and the Conn Smythe playoff MVP. And wow, at 22 years old, playoff MVP in the same season. Scores the cup winner in overtime, and all of this on Mother's Day. 22 years old and probably the greatest defenseman who ever lived. Some guys are just built different. Wow. I'm sorry? Oh, there's a statue. There's a statue of that exact pose in Boston? Really? That's so crazy. Ah! What do you think he's saying? Like, ah! I wonder if the trip was malicious. Is there any like lore about what happened with the actual trip? Was the guy just like pissed off? I love the black and white too. That probably happened like in an instant. Like that cameraman was just there at the perfect time. Because he's like vertical. He's like completely sky high. So that is today in sports history. Shout out Bomb Trady. Great contribution. They're very much taking off these little vignettes, these little posts. Zach. All right. I think that was the only one though for today. So appreciate that on Mother's Day. We had the perfect game one yesterday, but that was not actually on Mother's Day. That was on Mother's Day for that year. So Mother's Day fell on the 10th of May, whenever Bobby Orr had that famous photo. All right, back to the board here. Oh, yes. So I do want to definitely give some shine to UFC because it was requested and it is up here. So last night, UFC had the card. So this is how UFC works, right? You have a card, which consists of fights. And there's, I don't know, maybe like 7 or 8, maybe 9 or maybe 10, up to 10 fights. Don't quote me on that, but there's a lot of fights leading up to the fight. And last night, on this card specifically, there was 2 fights that were like the fight, the main event. I think they shared a main event. There was like the title of the card is these 2 dudes, Strickland and don't quote. Oh, it's right here. Chimaev and Strickland. So and Strickland won. So that was like the true main event, and it went to decision. So that nobody knocked each other out, which is common in UFC. There's usually like crazy knees to the face and like backhanded kicks, a lot of tap outs. This is not unusual to see guys get slept or knocked out within like the first even minute of the fight. So you never know how long these fights can go, but the maximum rounds for UFC is 5, and I think each round is 3 minutes. So they're pretty quick. The fights go by pretty quickly. But don't quote me on that. Here's the game. Oh. Bobby Orr's nickname is God. I love that flame. All right. So the experience is up. UFC 328. Apparently, it was a really good card. I didn't watch any of it, but greatest card you'll ever see to not have a knockout. Okay, there we go. The 2 title fights came down to the last round. Van showed the heart of a champion and picked apart Tyra with the unbelievable boxing, and Strickland did an unbelievable job all 5 rounds to scrape away this win. For me, Strickland's round 3 performance made the difference. We need a rematch between these two in a few months. Credit to, is it Chimaev or Chimaev for fighting on the feet? And when he was down on the ground, he went for much more submissions and ground and pound compared to the DDP fight. Finally, seeing the relationship evolve over this week, and especially tonight, was beautiful to watch, from the pre-fight tension to the display of sportsmanship post-fight. Really didn't think either guy was capable of that this morning. And then that Mojo. So these are 2 guys that requested it. Thank you both. 100% agree with that round 2 and round 3 assessment for Strickland. Chimaev had never had someone so easily stop his plan. He had no way to easily adjust. It was almost shocking to see someone so seamlessly go and defend the takedown of a guy who tosses other title opponent so easily when he fought DDP. I wonder what DDP stands for. I imagine it's the name. At the Peru. That's where this one was held. So you can rate it. You can rate UFC as an experience. And I do have a little clip from this fight. Because it's pay-per-view, there's really not a lot of, like clip stuff on the internet for it. Understandably so. But it was the announcement of the winner, which is where they hold up both of their hands and then they pause for effect. They do like the dramatic readout. Strickland, by the way, took a beating. You could see his nose. Here we go.
47, Chimaev. Salvador D'Amato scores it. 48-47, Strickland. And Erico scores the contest. 48-47 for the winner by split decision. And
Whoa!
undisputed UFC middleweight champion.
There's that sportsmanship. That's crazy. So these guys just beat the living crap out of each other, and now they're like hugging and kissing. That's insane to me. That's insane to me that they could be this gracious and like gentle and nice. Like I don't think I've ever seen that. So shout out to this guy. I mean, look at that cauliflower ear. Wow. He's clearly pumped up. Look at Dana in the background. Big Dana, boss Dana. Man, these guys like must have went at it.
And no!
He's like, nah, all right.
Undisputed UFC middleweight champion of the world.
Wow. Everyone, sportsmanship there is unbelievable. Good for them. Their moms would be proud. Say that on Mother's Day. All right, so back to the board UFC. Maybe we'll have it as an experience going forward, depending on what you guys think. Obviously, RateGame is for the fans, so please let me know. The time has come to spin the globe. Was the stream quality decent? Okay. Alrighty. Firing it up for day 17. Yesterday we had Jordan. Today we'll have Michael. No kidding. Producer just got that one. Oh my goodness. Is there something you want to say? Do you want to? Vai Brazil? What does that mean? Oh, go Brazil, obviously. Duh. All right. Wow. Brazil, 22. That's got to be tied. I think No, it's the most. How could it be the most? You think the Brazil has played in more World Cups than anyone else? 22 appearances. We're looking that up to see if it's the most. Wow. Yeah. They've won. The most wins, the most appearances, everything. They have the most of everything. Okay. I'm pretty sure they do. Okay. Well, except Lionel Messi holds record for the most player appearances. Yeah, but as a country, most team appearances. Wow, 22. They've been in 22 of these things. All right, so let's take a look at the granddaddy of them all. If you are from Brazil, you are Brazilian. The capital is Brasilia. I always thought it was, yeah, it's not. Oh, wow. Population 216 million. Wow. I mean, Brazil is massive. Let's take a look at the little globe. Yeah, look at that. Wow. Huge piece of land. Largest city is Sao Paulo. Language is Portuguese. Portuguesa. Federal Presidential Republic from the CONMEBOL Confederation. 5th rank for FIFA. And they've won more than once, I believe. They've won the most. Their topography dominated, obviously, by the Amazon, Brazilian highlands, Pantanal wetlands, and the Atlantic coast. Major industries: agribusiness, mining, aerospace, automotive, and energy. Main exports: soybeans, iron ore, crude oil, beef, and sugar. Main imports: refined petroleum, vehicle parts, fertilizers, and gas. Okay, Brazilian flag I love. Yeah, very cool flag. This little globe, the blue sphere. I'm excited to learn about it. All right, so the green is for lush forests and fields, originally the House of Braganza. The yellow is mineral wealth, especially gold, originally the House of Habsburg. Okay, the houses here, interesting. The blue sphere, the sky over Rio de Janeiro on November 15th, 1889, the day the Republic was proclaimed. 27 stars, each of Brazil's 26 states plus the federal district, arranged as real constellations. And the banner motto, Ordem de Progresso, order and progress from positivist philosophy. Wow. The House of Habsburg and the House of Braganza. It's so interesting. I wonder if that was like occupied by Germany or something, because the House of Habsburg doesn't match to anything Portuguese. Okay. From way back when. Iconic dishes. Tell me if you've had these. Churrasco, yes. Açaí. Pão de queijo. I had it yesterday. Oh yeah, pão de queijo. Oh, that's what that is. There's like these little cheese balls. They're actually delicious. I had too many actually. I overserved myself. I had to stop. What's that? Feijoada is beans and brigadeiros is chocolate desserts. Did you know Brazil is the only nation to have played in every World Cup? There we go. And won 5 of them. Boom. Okay, Claude. Key dates. 1500. Cabral lands in Brazil. 1822. Independence from Portugal. 1958. First of 5 World Cup titles and Pele's debut. Most recent World Cup title was in 2002. Most notable people. Yeah, it's been a minute, huh? Pele, Ayrton Senna, Gisele Bundchen's from Brazil. That's right, I knew that. I've seen those. Oh, okay. Oh, sorry. So the Ayrton Senna is a race car driver. What kind of race car? Oscar Niemeyer is an architect, not the hot dog company. Gisele Bundchen, obviously Tom Brady's ex, who I think remarried a Brazilian man. He is the race car. Wow. Okay, Kuz. F1, I assume? Maybe. 22 appearances, 5 wins. Look at that. Doubling up the all-time goals. 237. Wow. 114 appearances. 114 matches, 76 wins, 19 draws. They've only lost 19 times? That can't be real. Just dominance. Wow. Mm-hmm. Tough. When they lost to Germany. Yeah. Very sad, right? Order of arrival, 12th to qualify, June 10th, 2025. So almost a year to the date when this thing kicks off, they'll have been waiting in the wings. Morocco, Scotland, Haiti. Okay, Group C. Haiti, wow. I mean, Brazil's going to run through these guys. Morocco, Scotland, maybe. I doubt it, though. Kicking things off versus Morocco. Then they have Haiti. Then they close it down versus Scotland. Their roster, okay. I imagine some shakeups here from the last time we saw them because... Actually, no, I don't think Neymar played in the last World Cup. I think he was injured. What did Flame say? All right, here we go. The players to watch. Vinicius Jr. plays for Real Madrid. He's a winger. He's 25 years old. Champions League winner 2 times with Real Madrid in 2022 and 2024. La Liga 3 times. FIFA Best Player Runner-Up in 2024. FIFA Best Player Runner-Up in 2024? For what? Does FIFA make lists of these things, even though there's no tournaments that they're playing in? Scored the winner in the 2022 Champions League final after starting the season as a sub. Nice. Rodrigo, Real Madrid. Love the one name. 25 years old. 1 World Cup appearance, 2 Champions League titles with Real Madrid, 3 La Liga titles, hat trick versus Liverpool at age 18. Impressive. Did you know, joined Real Madrid at 17 years old for 45 million euros, the highest fee ever for a Brazilian teenager at that time. That's insane. A $45 million contract or euros rather, even more at 17. That's insane. Endrick, Real Madrid striker, 19. Okay, so we got some youth. Real Madrid signing at 16 for 60 million. Brazil senior debut at 17. Copa do Brazil score with Palmeiras. I think we saw those guys in the Club World Cup. His name was registered as Endrick, no last name, by his father. Said it sounded more like a star. I love that. That is fantastic. That is exactly your dad is exactly right. That is why you do the one name, because it just sounds epic. There's just so much more mystique. If we're feeling it, you know, like Rodrigo, no last name, Endrick, just rolls off the tongue. Bruno Guimaraes, I don't want to butcher that. Yeah, Newcastle midfielder, age 28, 1 World Cup appearance. Newcastle's 40 million euro record signing. Later, 100 million euro plus valuations. Olympic gold with Brazil's under-23 team in 2021. League One Team of the Year with Lyon. Did you know? Was rejected by Audax Sao Paulo Academy at age 14. His coach told him, find a real job. Ooh. That is some like Michael Jordan lore when he didn't make the basketball team, the high school basketball team. He got cut. And look at him now, starting for Brazil. Love that. And then Marquinhos, PSG, the center back. I know that name. He's the captain. He's the captain now. 31 years old, 2 World Cups, 11 League One titles with PSG, Champions League finalist in 2020, and the captain. Has been the PSG captain since age 26, the longest serving captain in the club's modern history. Okay. So we'll see him in the World Cup. We'll also see him in the Champions League final right before then versus Arsenal, who is actually currently playing a massive game versus West Ham. So here is their style of play, the Ancelotti era, 4-2-3-1, Vini Jr. and Rodrigo one-on-one, Endrick in behind, tactical maturity. I seem to remember in the heyday of Brazil when they were really, really good, fucking like mid-2000s, early 2000s, their passing was just incredible. They knew how to share the ball. So tactical indeed. Okay, so the home and away kits, I love the yellow and the green here. Absolutely love. Got a little soccer ball right behind me. Same deal. And let's see. Yes, of course, it's on par with the highest we've seen. It's a tier one contender, semifinal realistic. All right, so it looks like the expectations are kind of high. I don't know. Are they reserved? How are you feeling? Brazil looked very shaky in qualification. We generally at risk of missing out. Ooh. Uh-oh. Haven't been good for a while. What's the deal? What's going on? There's no homegrown talent, huh? Yeah. My producer saying Neymar let the country down, which I could totally see, and I know he feels it too.
His expectations are always high. They have the talent, but it's like it seems like inflated.
Oh, like expectations versus reality.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. First one in Group C.
It's inflated.
For Brazil.
Like I said, I've been pessimistic on them since 2020. They have great talent.
Who's because Marquinhos is their best player, I guess.
And their goalie is pretty good.
Their goalie's good. Group G, where are you at? Belgium, Egypt, Iran. Okay, so Premier League. That's good. So Group G, Group L, still no representation yet, which means what's that? Oh, their best player is Vinicius. Okay. I think he was the first guy. Yeah. 25 years old. All right. So that's Brazil. That is the 17th little spinorama. We have 32 days until kickoff, folks. Strap in. Getting ever so closer. Day by day. Chip away. All right. Happy Mother's Day to all. It is a beautiful Sunday. It's a great day to rate some sports games. RateGame is free. It's fun. It's for fans of all ages, from this fan to you. Will the Knicks sweep? Find out tomorrow. I'm not going to talk to them until tomorrow. I'll be the lead-in of the show, I'm sure. All right. I will sign off for today. My name is Nick Mark George. Not at the same time, 9 o'clock, Monday morning. I'll be here. Bye-bye.